County Legislature to order, and I ask Mr. Ted Paletnik to lead us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's just stay standing for a moment of silence for our veterans. Thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Hartman.
Here.
Rose. Here. Schrader.
Here.
Manine. Here. Johnson.
Here.
Hendrick. Hyde.
Here.
Brzezinski. Mano.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Bono.
Here.
Ackerman.
Here.
Kaplinski.
Here.
Horst.
Here.
Russell.
Here.
Shaw.
Here.
Weekly.
Here. Pursuant to Rule 8, are there any objections or corrections to the minutes of the October 24th meeting? There are none. I'll order them approved. Reading in full of claims disallowed by the auditor and presented for audit by the legislature. Nothing on the desk. Now we'll dispense with our regular session to allow for a presentation from Mr. Ted Paletnik from Soil and Water for the quality coordinating.
Okay, I'll try to keep this as short as possible. The annual report on your desk in your packets is from the Herkimer County Water Quality Coordinating Committee. You may have heard that mentioned in the Soil and Water Conservation District news in the newspapers and that type of thing. What this is, the state came up with a grant to produce an annual report for the Water Quality Coordinating Committee. Now, if you ask, the Herkimer County Water Quality Coordinating Committee was formed in 1992, and the most important thing, and I've heard this from a lot of you folks, is that it's just what that is, Water Quality Coordinating Committee, and what it is a group of interested parties who are all interested in water quality. It includes the health department, soil and water conservation district, cooperative extension, and the list goes on. And the biggest thing I see is you're all working together. You don't have any overlapping of services. And I've heard that concern, many times over the years. The Water Quality Coordinating Committee you've got your report. You can flip through it. It's been directly involved and responsible for millions of dollars worth of grants coming in to Herkimer County. We developed the Herkimer County Water Quality Strategy, which is updated every 2 years. It's been a very good experience of working with all the interested parties. I've had the, I guess I'll call it the honor of being the chairman of this since 1992. Everybody else has done a good job of providing representation, cooperative extension, or Herkimer County Highway Department, and such. I guess I would leave it that, if you flip through this and you have any questions, feel more than free to call me. Like I say, they produced this grant was way back in 2009. So this is for 2010 and 11, and it's 2012. So we didn't even put the date on it covered. But I'm hoping that this will bring to light the very existence of the Water Quality Coordinating Committee here in Herkimer County, and the fact that it is so active, and the fact that over half of the Water Quality Coordinating Committees that were formed in 1992 have fallen by the wayside. So I think it is in the best interest of the residents of Herkimer County, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Thank you. Thank you. Crossley. I had the opportunity to talk to Kevin a while back, and I told him I'd invite him in for just a general overview of what the Area Resource Center does, and welcome, Kevin.
Thanks, Jim, and thanks for having me. I appreciate you all indulging me for a few minutes this evening to talk a little bit about the Herkimer ARC. My name is Kevin Crossley, as Jim said, and I've been in Herkimer County at the ARC now for 7 years. And I have to tell you, one of the things that maybe you don't hear a lot is that the last 7 years that I've spent in Herkimer County, and I'm an upstate New Yorker, I'm from Portland County originally from Homer. I spent the first 21 years in this industry working for an agency like the Herkimer ARC in Portland County called the J.M. Murray Center. And I had a phenomenal experience there. Absolutely phenomenal. I loved going to work every single day. But I have to tell you that the last 7 years that I've spent in Herkimer County have been the most rewarding 7 years of my professional career. And I'm not telling you that because you're the county legislature. I have been saying that publicly since shortly after I arrived here. I have never seen so much collaboration, cooperation, and the care and giving of a community as I've seen here in Herkimer County. Now I know that you folks take the brunt of the heat in your areas throughout this county, but I'm here to tell you that this person coming in from the outside as a professional, working and living in the Mohawk Valley, this has been an unbelievable experience for me personally, and the incredible growth that we've had at the Herkimer ARC in the last 7 years has been as a result of the people in this region. So thank you for that. The Herkimer ARC employs 400 staff. If you take Remington out of the picture, and if you combine all the county departments and kind of take them out of the picture, I think that makes us the next largest employer in this area. We provide services for over 700 people with disabilities every day. So if you start to add the number of staff that we have, the people that we serve, the families that are associated, the advocates that are out there, our agency touches thousands of people in Herkimer County every single day. We own and operate 38 different facilities. 22 of those facilities are our residential facilities. We have an $11 million payroll. There's not too many businesses in Herkimer County that can come in and say that. We are, in fact, an economic development engine in this community. And we want the community to view us that way. We don't want to be seen as this poor old not-for-profit with our hand out. That is not who we are. We are a business with a social mission. And it's just as important for us to act like a business as it is for all of you in your business. We don't make money. We can't create jobs. We can't create opportunities. It's important that we act like a business. Our 501c3 tax status is just that. It's a tax status. It's not a business strategy. Our business strategy is to be an economic engine for the people in Herkimer County. So I want to thank you for your support. We are part of a larger entity, the New York State ARC. The New York State ARC has a presence in every single county but Tompkins County in New York State. We're a $1.7 billion corporation in total. We serve over 60,000 people with disabilities throughout the state of New York. 30,000 people are employed by the ARCs throughout New York State. We are a very large presence. We are the largest provider of services for people with disabilities in the United States. It's a pretty impressive group of people, and a pretty impressive group of chapters, which we're happy to be one of 49. We have a contract with you from the Office of Mental Health. We provide job development, transitional employment, and job coaching for people with mental illness. Although our primary focus at the agency are folks with developmental disabilities, obviously we serve multiple populations of disabilities as well. And it's important that we continue to do that as we move forward. I will tell you that our industry is under siege. I don't have to tell you that in New York State, Medicaid is under siege, which means that our facilities are under siege. We are primarily Medicaid funded. Our particular agency, we have a $23 million budget. $11 million, as I told you, is our payroll. We received a $1.2 million cut last year. For an agency like ours, We try to generate a surplus of 1 to 3% every year. You take $1 million hit, that's a pretty significant number. So what are we doing to try to address that? What we're doing are some of the things that I think you've seen us do in this community. We're trying to diversify our revenue streams. We need to find non-Medicaid revenue to be able to continue to provide the supports for the families in this community that have been accustomed to the high level of service that we've been able to give. So what have we done? Well, I think you know about our Goodwill store out here on State Street, most of you. That has been a great addition to this community. And I will tell you, we are partnered with the Goodwill down in New York City on our store. This store in Herkimer, New York, of all the upstate Goodwill stores, was the fastest growing Goodwill store, 19% growth in our sales just this last year. Our advanced technologies business that we moved into the former AAA building on North Main Street, just this afternoon, we had a session where we were ready to go live with our online shopping and take our advanced technologies business from being a local business that sells to EMTs, fire departments, law enforcement. Steve Napolitano, that many of you know, is a partner of ours in this business, and we are now going to take this business to the internet. We hope to grow that at a significant level. Herkimer Industries is our vocational division, where we work with a lot of for-profit businesses to create job opportunities for the people that we support. You've probably heard of our fundraisers. I'm telling you right now, we run the best fundraiser in all of New York State. And it happened 2 weeks ago at the Turning Stone, our wine auction, one night, $255,000 we grossed 2 weeks ago. It's an amazing event. If you've never been there, you need to go. If you go once, you'll go again. I guarantee it. Our golf tournament, our Life is Beautiful festival, and then 3 years ago this month, we took on what we now call the HARC Business Park on the corner of Route 28 and East German Street. I will tell you that every person in Herkimer County once worked in that building, because that's what I've been told. 1890 that thing was built. It was becoming a community eyesore. Our goal is to turn it into a community asset. And so far, in the last 3 years, and candidly, we've only been refurbishing it for the last 2, we've created 45 brand new jobs in that area. We refurbish schools for Albany International. We have an Irving tissue line that supplies bulk tissue to Wegmans. And we supply every single Remington box that we take and form the boxes for our partners down the street in Ilion to provide them with the boxes for all of their guns. 45 jobs have been created as a result. The Chamber of Commerce moved in there. We have 4 other tenants that have moved in there. And our job, the way I see it, is to turn that business park into a true community asset. It's working. It's happening. And it's happening here in Herkimer. And one of the things that I've seen in my 7 years here is that it can happen. And I know there's a lot of frustration out there. I know you take some heat about it. But I'm here to tell you that we've created jobs. Now, one of the things about our mission statement that I think is important for you to hear, our mission statement is HARC enables people with disabilities and others in our community to achieve full potential and enrich lives. And we take the and others in our community very seriously. We're not looking to just create jobs for the people with disabilities that we support. We're looking to create jobs for non-disabled people that augment our workforce, that want to work in Herkimer, that want to live in Herkimer. That's why we're here. We're here to serve this entire community, not just the people that have significant disabilities. Now, we've applied for the last 2 rounds of regional economic development money that's been out there for money for that business park. We want to put in the same windows that we put in when we refurbished that one wing for the Chamber of Commerce. We want to button up that facility. It's pretty much a sieve. And the boiler that's in there, obviously, would make a great boat anchor. However, we have a job ahead of us. We've done a great job on the inside refurbishing all the different wings. It's 120,000 square feet. Huge facility. We've refurbished all the wings on the inside, and as a result, we've been able to bring businesses in. So what I'm here to tell you tonight is really that we are here. We're a vibrant organization. We want to do things for the community. We're looking for your support. We look for the village's support. We look for the support of all of us in this region. And as a result of...
And I think we're much needed, and congratulations and best of luck on the project.
Thanks. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me again.
We'll continue on. Before we go on, I wanted to introduce, we have the Cornell Cooperative Extension students here this evening, and as tradition is, we have you stand up and state your name, where you're from, and so if you want to start with this gentleman right here.
My name is Tyler Keel and I'm from Mohawk.
My name is Paul Joyce and I'm from Mohawk as well.
Hi, my name is Martha Burry and I'm from Frankfurt. I'm Kayla Crow and I'm from Elliott.
Hi, I'm Brandon Miner. I'm from West Canada.
I hope you enjoy your stay here tonight. And we'll have Rod Malone, our county attorney, give you a little speech in a little bit on the committee structure and how the legislature works. And the roll call votes and things like that. So keep your pen and paper handy. All right, we'll now have comment period and by members of the public, and there's no one signed up, so we'll dispense with that. Communications received by the legislature and the committees to which they have been referred are listed on the agenda. Does any member of the legislature request mention of any particular communication? Mr. Corse.
384.
384.
Notice of claim, it's the matter of Herkimer County Community College Professional Association against the County of Herkimer.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Moving on with the agenda, pursuant to Rule 6, Number 8, reports of standing committees. Are there any committee chairs who wish to make a report or remarks on the progress? Mr. Russell.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Over the course of the fall, many legislators have been attending the Ways and Means Committee to discuss budgetary issues, and right now we're done with the tentative budget. I'd like to give a little bit of an overview. The total appropriations this year are $96,442,668. That's up $1,197,878, which is a 1.3% increase. Now that's our appropriations, that's not the tax levy. Just want to make sure that you don't keep that in your mind. Total revenues we're anticipating to be up to about $652,000, which would bring that to $93,969 and some change. And the amount of money that we're going to be raising by tax levy is $25,066,700, which is a $223,595 increase, which amounts to a 0.9% increase from last year's budget. Some of the major changes, our retirement costs are up $168,000 to some change. Our payrolls up $246,000 and some change. Our public health county costs will be down as far as revenues, $109,000. Country Manor, we're anticipated the county costs to go up $48,560 for a $584,152 total. That's county costs in the Country Manor. Health insurance is staying approximately the same. We're going to be losing $90,000 in pilots, but again, those go towards the usually go towards tax base of other communities, which is good. Medicaid, we're going to be up about $6,280, and our highway appropriations is going to increase $395,000 and some change. We also lost $107,500 in disaster assistance there. We're going to appropriate from our fund balance and our reserves. From our general fund balance, we're going to appropriate $1.3 million. From our highway fund balance, $1 million. From our computer reserve, $135,000. And there's a crime proceeds reserves of $38,000 to bring the appropriated fund balance and reserves to $2,473,000 that we're putting back into our budget to relieve people of that amount of money within tax, property taxes. We're estimating their sales tax are going to go up about $833,000, 3.2%. And we should realize about $569,900 net to the county, which does not include our jail reserve, which is 0.25% of sales tax. Within this budget, there's no raises for legislators. There are 2% raises for our non-bargaining union, or non-bargaining people, and whatever the union contracts say. I can obviously, if you don't have this, I thought it was on everybody's desk, but make a copy and make sure that you all get it. But I want to thank the committee. I want to thank the legislators that came. And I especially want to thank Jim Wallace and Bernie Decker for their hard work in trying to put this together. We think it's a fair, very fair budget for next year. A 0.9%, obviously that's less than 1%. And if you look at your equalization tables, some communities will be going up 9 cents or a little bit more. Some will go down from last year as far as their tax rate per thousand because of the way in which the assessed values are and the equalization rate. So take a look at that so you know for your communities. But overall, it's going to go up about 9 cents for the county tax rate is going up 9 cents. Thank you.
Any other, Chair? Okay. Now continuing on with consent agenda. Will clerk please read the title of each resolution on the consent agenda?
263 is the Ways and Means Committee authorizing preparation of tentative copies of the budget. 264 is Ways and Means accepting the tentative budget and setting time and place for the public hearing. 265 is Natural Resources reappointing William Zaleski as the Director of the Soil and Water Conservation District. 266 is Natural Resources providing with the 8-year review of Ag District census in compliance with provisions of the State Environmental Quality Review Act. 267 is Natural Resources as to the 8-year review of Ag District number 6. 268 is Ways and Means concerning insurance coverages, and 269 is Ways and Means with transferring funds.
May I have a motion? Mr. Shaw, second. And Mr. Smith. Any discussion? Debate? All those in favor? Mr. Clerk.
On the tentative budget, there's a provision in there for us to pay the county share of New York State retirement. And if you read today's article in the paper, it alluded to the fact that Oneida County is going to postpone paying it, and it's allowed under state law because of the impact of the increase on a lot of municipalities. They're deferring payment. They're moving it out into the future. And it's, it's putting the burden on maybe another generation to come up with the money on something that should be a pay-as-you-go basis. And Herkimer County operates on a pay-as-you-go basis. As a matter of fact, I believe we're gearing up to make our payment, which is an early payment, which will save $32,000. The total payment is $3.5 million. But because of our stance on saving money, we'll save $32,000 if we pay it early. We can defer these payments out into the future, but we're choosing to do it as close to the dollar as we can, and it makes a lot of sense to do it that way. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that was what we were proposing to do.
Another debate? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Move on to 270, roll call.
The Natural Resources and Ways and Means Committee is adopting the assessment roll of the sewer district.
This resolution adopts the sewer district assessment roll to be used in the year 2013. May I have a motion? Mr. Hyde, second by Mr. Poplinski. Any debate? Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Hyde.
Yes.
Brzezinski.
Yes.
Nano.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bono.
Yes.
Ackerman.
Yes.
Poplinski.
Yes.
Force.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
Weekly.
Yes.
Hartman.
Yes.
Rose. Yes. Schrader.
Yes.
Manine.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes. Resolution passes. Number 271.
Ways and Means apportioning the mortgage tax.
This resolution approves the apportionment of the towns and incorporated villages in the county of Herkimer of the mortgage taxes. May I have a motion?
So moved, Mr.
Mr.
Chairman.
Russell, second by Mr. Weekly and Mr. Hyde. Any debate?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir, Mr. Corsi.
I'm looking at a copy of what we apportioned last year at this time. And to me, there's a good deal more money that's available. And I know that Herkimer County also has a share in this process. So it's good news. Last year, the total tax received, we had $297,000, and this year we have $432,000. I don't know what that's an indication of economically, but it's a positive thing as far as revenue for the town.
Any more debate? Roll call. Call the roll.
Kuklinski.
Yes.
Corse.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
Weekly.
Yes.
Hartman.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
Manine.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Hyde.
Yes.
Brzezinski.
Yes.
Dano.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bono.
Yes.
Ackerman.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Number 272.
Human Resources, Ways and Means authorizing contracts for services under Caregiver Support Program.
This resolution approves respite contracts with the agencies listed under the Caregiver Support Program of the Office of the Aging. May I have a motion? Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Shaw. Any debate? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. 273.
Human Resources, Ways and Means authorizing contract with Community Transportation Services.
This resolution authorizes a contract with Community Transportation Services to provide transportation services to senior citizens who are residents of the town of Webb. May I have a motion? Mr. Russell, second by Mr. Hendricks. Any debate? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. 274.
Human Resources, Ways and Means awarding contracts for Meals on Wheels for Frankfurt, Schuyler, Herkimer, and Ilion Frankfurt areas.
This resolution authorizes catering contracts for the Meals on Wheels and Congregate Meals Program for the year 2013 as listed. May I have a motion? Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Mano. Any debate?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
For the benefit of our interns that are here, this resolution and the two previous resolutions are resolutions in our Office for the Aging. This is how Herkimer County takes care of its elderly people, preferably in their own homes. And that's what the intent of these three resolutions is, to maintain their ability to stay in their own homes as they become elderly and frail.
Thank you, sir. Of course. Anyone else? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. 275.
Human Resources, Ways and Means authorizing contract with New York State Energy Research and Development.
This resolution authorizes an agreement with NYSERDA to inform older adults in Herkimer County who might be eligible for the Empower New York program. May I have a motion? Mr. Shaw, second by Mr. Smith. Any debate? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. 276.
Human Resources, Ways and Means authorizing contract with Fidelis Care New York for the provision of home delivered meals.
This resolution authorizes a contract with Fidelis Care New York for the provision of home-delivered meals and congregate meals to their clients. May I have a motion? Mr. Kuklinski, second by Mr. Smith and Mrs. Manine. All those, I'm sorry, any debate? Mrs. Rose.
Just an observation, Mr. Chairman. I believe that with the resolution that we just previously approved in the making of meals from the vendor in Little Falls Motel Association for $4.25. And this is a case, I think, as was explained in the committee, the Office of the Aging and working to help through these agencies is able to do it and receive $7.25 for the meal. And I think it's a reflection on the effort that they're doing in the Office of the Aging to set revenue rates in order to continue to serve people that we're trying to sustain in their homes. Good job.
Absolutely. Any more debate? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. 276. I'm sorry, 277.
Human Resources, Ways and Means authorizing contract with Visiting Nurse Service of New York for provision of meals.
This resolution authorizes a contract with Visiting Nurse Services of New York for the provision of home-delivered meals to their clients. Motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Shaw and Mr. Hendrick. Any debate? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. 278.
Public Safety Emergency Management, authorizing application for cost reimbursement for wireless 911.
This resolution authorizes the application for cost reimbursement for the wireless 911 grant program. Motion by Mr. Hendricks, second by Mr. Kaplinski and Mr. Ackerman. Any debate? All those in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. 279.
Public Safety Emergency Management, Ways and Means, amending budget connection with funding in the Sheriff's Office.
This resolution amends the budget in connection with funding received for a state criminal alien assistance program in the Sheriff's Department. May I have a motion? Mr. Hendricks, second by Mr. Poplinski. Any debate? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. At this time, I just like to ask Mr. Malone if he would tell our students do your spiel, I guess.
Okay. You ready? You have your little sheet, you're following along on what's going on. Each resolution is listed there. And let's just vote on this. 279. So that was 279. That was, if you look over to the right-hand side, it says voice. 279, that's a voice vote, which you heard. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. And then the legislators got to express their voice or to vote as a group. The next resolution you'll see, 280, calls for a roll call. And that's where the clerk of the legislature calls each legislator's name to get that legislator's individual vote. And so the obvious question is why? Why are we doing it one way sometimes and another way another time? And the reason is that the state legislature has determined that some votes are more important, perhaps, if you want to put it that way, or have a greater impact on the taxpayers than others. For example, levying of taxes, appropriation of funds, hiring people, setting salaries for employees, and that sort of thing. Those are things which are likely to have the greatest effect on taxpayers, and so it's mandated that those resolutions have a roll call vote, so each legislator's vote can be specifically recorded. In addition, this legislature has rules that govern its conduct, and amongst those rules is the right of any legislator sitting out here to ask for a roll call vote on any resolution. So even if it says voice, if any legislator wants a roll call vote, they can simply ask for it before the vote begins, and then there'll be a roll call vote. And you mentioned committees. You'll see there's a committee mentioned after number 280, for example, it says Ways and Means. That means that this resolution first went through the Ways and Means Committee. All these resolutions generally, as a rule, go through committee first, where they're discussed extensively if necessary, and that's how they reach the floor. Goes through committee first and then reaches the floor. So although you see things happening rapidly here, there's a big buildup that happens beforehand in the presentation to the committee and the committee discussion.
All right, thank you. Did I miss a student?
No, I'm a college student, sorry.
Well, you could state your name. You want to?
I'm Christina Fuller. I did that last year, and now I'm here for MD.
Okay, well, welcome. Mr. Harper.
You might want to tell them when the test is.
We'll leave it up to the teacher. Okay, we'll move on to number 280.
Ways and Means making appropriation of funds from the fund balance.
This resolution authorizes the appropriation of funds from the general fund balance. May I have a motion? Mr. Russell, second by Mr. Smith. Any debate? It's a roll call. Call the roll.
Brzezinski.
Yes.
Mano.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bono.
Yes.
Ackerman.
Yes.
Kaplinski.
Yes.
Force.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
Weekly.
Yes.
Hartman.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
Manine.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Hyde.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Number 281.
Ways and Means making appropriation of funds from contingency.
This resolution authorizes the appropriation of funds from the contingency account. May I have a motion? Mr. Russell, second by Mr. Poplinski and Mr. Shaw. Any debate?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir, Mr.
Could possibly the budget officer explain how we can appropriate from contingent for some things and from fund balance from others, and how that changed in the last couple of years?
Mr. Decker?
The contingency fund is technically appropriated by the legislature when they pass the budget to begin with, but it's not appropriated for any specific purpose. So therefore, if they choose to use money from the contingency account, they actually have to appropriate it again. That's why it's called an appropriation instead of a transfer. And it can be used for any purpose that the legislature decides on during the year. We can appropriate money from fund balance only for items that we couldn't foresee at the beginning of the year. And it used to be that you couldn't appropriate from fund balance unless you had received all of the revenue that you expected to receive during the year, and you really couldn't do it until the very end of the year, if at all. But in the last few years, the state legislature changed the rules so that appropriations from fund balance can be made at any time, as long as it's for an unforeseen purpose and the revenue was not expected during the year.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Clerk will call the roll.
Mano.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bono.
Yes.
Ackerman.
Yes.
Kaplinski.
Yes.
Corse.
Yes.
Russell. Shaw.
Yes.
Weekly.
Yes.
Hartman.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
Manine.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Hyde.
Yes.
Brzezinski.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Number 282.
Ways and Means, Public Safety, amending budget in connection, well, actually, with the Sheriff's Department for a grant.
This resolution amends the budget in connection with an award under the 2012 Bulletproof Vest Partnership Program for the Sheriff's Department. I have a motion. Mr. Hyde, second by Mr. Hendricks. Any debate? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Number 283.
Ways and Means, adjusting wages for hourly employees.
This resolution adjusts the salaries for the year 2013 for certain employees of the county in various departments who are on an hourly basis. May I have a motion? Mr. Russell, second by Mr. Hyde. Any debate? Mrs. Rose.
Mr. Chairman, can we be advised, I don't have the old ones in front of me, in general, what percentage of increase we're seeing in the, when we have some with an hourly wage of $6.55, and then the second would be the minimum wage of $7.25. How this was factored, just to understand what we're doing here. I think it would be beneficial.
Yeah, we left most of the grades, Mrs. Rose, the same. However, I think at our last legislative meeting, there was a few legislators who were very concerned. Mr. Russell took that to heart with the Ways and Means Committee. So when you look at grade 3, we have an awful lot of people that make $7.28 an hour. The committee agreed to give that a 5% increase, so that we then created a new Schedule 4, which moved that to $7.64. And the last one is the number 13, is the new one. That's 2%, because we do have a few people within CSEA who do work at that $10.88 an hour. So with the contract, they're entitled to the 2 cents. So a lot of the requests that we receive from aging, I'm going to leave some departments out, maintenance, etc. We felt by making just those couple little changes, we'll be able to see those people get around 5% increases. And they've been incorporated within the budget of the part-timers. And a lot of those part-timers had not seen a raise in 4 or 5 years.
I think that's an important thing to draw. There have not been raises when there have been any other 2% raises or whatever, they have not received them. And just the actual titles for the ones in the lower half where we're doing it by title, just can there be any kind of a generalization done on how these salaries relate back hourly to the positions that are full-time in similar titles? How it relates? Or I'm not trying to be fix, but I don't think that I was clear on that at the committee.
Because we have several different areas where some of the titles, I'm going to say probably 2 or 3 of the titles are at the same as the CSEA title, and the majority are not.
They may well be lower?
Absolutely.
Right. And is it safe to say, Mr. Chairman, that these are rates that these positions also have not had increases for some time? They're in the same as the upper grades, or have these positions been increased too? I'm just trying to understand it.
Several have, Mrs. Rose, several haven't. And currently in this time, several will not.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir, Mr. Corsi.
Now that this resolution is established as possibly a precedent, can we look at it each year for a continual process to make sure we don't let certain individuals that work part-time slip through the cracks as we address salaries? I think that's fair to say that we are establishing that precedent, Pat?
I think that's very fair to say, especially based on the comments by legislators previously.
Are we confident it's comprehensive?
Yes.
Good.
Thank you.
Yep.
Roll call.
Russell.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
Weekly.
Yes.
Hartman.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
Manine.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Hyde.
Yes.
Brzezinski.
Yes.
Mano.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bono.
Yes.
Ackerman.
Yes.
Kaplinski.
Yes.
Corse.
Yes.
17.
Resolution passes. Number 284.
County Properties extending a lease with the Friends of Historic Herkimer County.
This resolution extends the lease with the Friends of the Historic Herkimer County for use and maintenance of the 1834 jail premises. May I have a motion? Mr. Hyde and Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Poplinski. Any debate? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution passes. 285.
Ways and Means authorizing execution of sales tax agreement with City of Little Falls.
This resolution authorizes extension of an agreement with the City of Little Falls concerning the allocation and distribution of funds collected as sales tax in the County of Herkimer. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Ackerman, second by Mr. Russell. Any debate? Mr. Hartman?
Yes, I'd just like to point out that I know I'll hear from some of my constituents that cities can be treated differently. They have separate agreements in the townships and villages. And I just wanted to make that clear. Not that I have a problem with it.
Correct. Any other debate? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Number 286. No.
Yeah.
It's a roll call? Okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Mr. Corse.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
Weekly.
Yes.
Hartman.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
Manine.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Hyde.
Yes.
Brzezinski.
Yes.
Mano.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bono.
Yes.
Ackerman.
Yes.
Kaplinski.
Yes.
17.
Resolution passes. Number 286.
Ways and Means adopting salary schedules.
This resolution adopts the salary schedules as listed for the year 2013. May I have a motion? Mr. Russell, second. By Mr. Shaw and Mr. Corse. Debate.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask that this be partitioned, that salary schedule 1 and 2 be partitioned from the later negotiated contracts of 3, 4, and 5 salary schedules.
You making that a motion?
I answer.
Motion's made, second by Mr. Hartman. Any debate on the partitioning of the resolution? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Defeated.
Can you do it again? I'll talk louder. What are you
Too
doing?
late.
Yeah.
On to the regular
For a
motion.
roll call?
No, too late. The vote was taken. Please do that.
Mr. Chairman, I asked for a roll call on the motion itself.
Okay. Now onto the motion, onto the original roll call. Yes.
Any resolution? Mr. Ackerman.
Yes.
Kaplinski.
Yes.
Corse.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
Weekly.
Yes.
Hartman.
Yes.
Rose.
No.
Schrader.
Yes.
Manine.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Hyde.
Yes.
Brzezinski.
Yes.
Mano.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bono.
Yes.
16.
Resolution passes. Number 287.
Ways and Means establishing salaries of some elected officials and certain county officers and setting date for public hearing.
This resolution sets a public hearing on introductory local law number 3 for the year 2013 to be held December 19th, 2012 at 7 p.m. I have a motion. Mr. Russell, second by Mr. Weekly. Any debate? All those in favor?
Just want to point out that we've had this the last few years over at the college. And this year going to be in this isn't one? Oh, sorry. Forget what I just said.
Mr. Russell.
I appreciate that Mr. Russell asked that question. And in order not to forget, to just try to understand, the intent of this is for those people who are midterm, not just recently elected, so that they can benefit from, is it the raise that you just voted for salary schedule 1 and 2, the 2%? So the people who are midterm that are elected or appointed cannot receive the 2% that's in salary schedule, I don't know if it's 1 or 2, 1, without having a public hearing to see if there's any objections in our community for those positions receiving the 2%. Was that, no, Jim's making a face that maybe I didn't say it right.
Very, very close, Mrs. Rose, but what happens is those people are, there's a subject to a permissive referendum, so if we have the vote on the 19th and that's approved, whether it's, 9-8 or whatever, people would have 45 days to file petitions to say, no, we don't approve of that. And that way the people that are on that would have to wait till February 3rd before they receive the 2% raise.
I remember it well, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Now going to comments by legislators. Mr. Russell.
Yeah, based on what I was trying to say before, but didn't realize that was the wrong one. We are having our budget hearing a week prior to our meeting date. That budget hearing we've had in the past over at the college, but we are having it here in this chamber, and I just want to make sure that people are aware it will be in this chamber because, like I said, the last few years we've had it at the college. So those that want to come are welcome.
Anyone else? Mrs. Rose.
Mr. Chairman, before this meeting, we had a Administration and Veterans Committee meeting, and the Democratic Party, of which I'm a member, brought forward the name of an individual to be our election commissioner. And I think that it's important that we understand that it is an appointment from the Democratic Committee who submits an affidavit or certificate to the legislature to advance the appointment. And tonight, the Administration and Veterans Committee tabled it and refused to act on the recommendation of the Democratic Committee. And what's the result of that is in 30 days, if the legislature does not act on it, the caucus of the Democratic Party here in the legislature will advance the individual that's been selected by the Democratic Committee. I think that the statements made was the people on that committee, some wanted to see resumes of who the Democrats were advancing. And interestingly enough, in the committee, when the Republicans advanced someone this time, even if it was a reappointment, there were no resumes shared. Now, perhaps you get them in your caucus. Perhaps we know the qualifications. I would just encourage, when we recognize what happened last month with the appointment, the Democratic recommendation for an appointment to the County Ethics Committee, the committee overseeing that refused also to advance the name of the person that we selected. In that case, the individual continues to serve because of the holdover provision. But there seems to be a refusal to accept that in some cases, the Democrats really get to pick and choose and say. And the fact that there would be some here that would suggest that that shouldn't be the case, or you just don't want to cooperate on it.
Mr. Rose, that's
not what?
That wasn't the case. It was just put on our desk today, the name of the individual. It's gone through the committee because we know nothing about the individual. Good chance they'll be approved. However, if I don't know anything about this individual and I vote yes and something turns up later, how does that make us look? Let us research the individual. We'll have a meeting.
Mr. Chairman,
It's got nothing to do with.
Let me
it was
suggest.
placed on our desk today. It's an agenda item. It was talked about in the agenda. We will bring it forth in the committee, and that's where it'll stay. So it'll be talked about. So if you want to move on to another subject,
what I want to say,
can,
the ability to have resumes is important. And wait a minute, the ability to have a resume when we're advancing anyone's name, even if they've been sitting there for 30 years, I think it's good information. And I hope that you have established by your action tonight that, because you just approved out of committee somebody that sat on another committee, and it's getting approved, and we didn't have any resumes. Somebody who sat on a commission or whatever.
But they were
By your
existing.
very actions, Mr.
I believe
Chairman.
they were existing.
Understand that, but there's
Okay.
people in this room that were not on the legislature at the time those were approved. So I appreciate that you've raised the bar and to suggest that...
Absolutely, Mrs.
May I finish my sentence, sir?
But I'm saying it.
Can I finish so you don't quite know what I'm
We're
saying?
making this a debate. It should be talked about in committee.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, I tried. Let me just say that I appreciate that you have raised the bar and that you're going to consistently enforce that before...
Those are your words.
Well, I would suggest that if
Don't
it
put
wasn't...
words in my mouth, Ms. Rose. You have a habit of doing that.
All right, I won't, the
I
words
will
will stay here.
try my best,
Mr.
but
Chairman.
don't put words in my mouth.
Fine, Mr. Chairman.
Let's move on.
You, wait,
Mr.
Mr.
Russell,
Chairman.
let's move on. It's a
Excuse me.
committee matter. It was on the agenda. You're trying
I'm
to open up
talking-
debate. You're trying to open
I'm
up debate.
trying to make a statement, Mr.
Mr.
Chairman.
Chairman, it's very,
Mr. Russell.
if somebody's looking for a resume to see, ask the committee chairman.
Then, if I may go on record, that before anybody's name is brought before, I would like to see the resume. So in case it happens at the last minute, can it go on record? Is that acceptable, or do I have to wait, because I'm not on the committee, for someone to say I'm not entitled to that information?
Listen, we can talk about this committee.
What committee should we go to?
Administration, Veterans Affairs.
On whether you can get resumes?
Mr. Shaw.
I think the person Mrs. Rose is referring to was appointed to the Sorrel District. That was under a letter of recommendation from Farm Bureau, and the bylaws of that district give them that right to have their representative on that board.
Anyone else? Mr. Hart.
The same right that Democrats are to bring forward their appointment that the Farm Bureau has. It's a good reason to act on it, I agree.
Anyone else? Motion adjourned. Mr. Mann.
If there's no further business, I move that we adjourn to Wednesday, December 19th, 2012 at 7:30 p.m. At 7 p.m., we'll have the public hearing on introduction to local law number 3. And we're going to have a public hearing on the tentative 2013 budget on Wednesday, December 12th, 2012 at 7 p.m. as Mr. Russell said, right here in these chambers.
So be it.
Thank you.
Second by Mr. Hyde. You're adjourned.